Okay. Thank you so much, dear Isaac. So, friends, you're all welcome, and as we expect more people to join us, we're going to be doing the lesson review. So, Isaac, kindly take us to the slide that shows our lesson review. Isaac, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, lesson review. Because these are the things we covered last time. So I want us to move to today's lesson, and it starts with lesson review, the slide that has lesson review.
Is it that one?
No, continue lesson review. We covered this last time.
That one.
Just a moment. Yes, lesson 2. This is our lesson 2 for this day, and who can believe it? This is also going to be our last lesson for this holiday. So I hope you're ready to learn something, and I hope that by the end of this lesson, you will be able to know something extra, or if maybe you've covered what we are covering today, at least you'll understand it much better. And I hope that the lesson is going to be fruitful for all of us. So we're going to start with a lesson review. Who remembers what we covered last time? If you remember, kindly put your hand up. I'm trying to find the settings. Please. If you remember what we covered last time, yes, Melissa, thank you. Kindly take us through what we covered last time. What do you remember? What did we cover last time?
We looked at anti-corruption. It was the topic of the lesson. Then we went to the definitions of corruption and anti-corruption. Can I define them?
Yes, go ahead, because some people maybe weren't here, or even those that were here maybe have forgotten. So it's a good thing for you to remind us. Yes, it is okay.
Okay. Anti-corruption is a fight or activities one engages in to prevent corruption. Corruption is a dishonest conduct which is mainly known as illegal to the government. Forms of corruption, we had voter bribery, plot stuffing, tribalism, smuggling, and many others. We gave some definitions of the forms of corruption, which were a kickback is an illegal payment a kickback is a payment intended as compensation for favorable treatment or other improper services. Then we went to using direct and indirect speech, whereby we gave some of the points we have to note when we are converting to the indirect and direct speech, which way we have to mind the tense changes, we have to mind the use of personal pronouns, the timing, which is also defined as tenses. That's all I can give.
Thank you so much, dear Melissa. So as part of our lesson review, I'm going to ask you, Isaac, to take us back to our assignment for last time. Just go like 2 slides back for us to see the assignment we had. Some people did the questions, and sent me the answers, but others didn't. So we had 2 assignments. I believe this is the second. We could start with the first one. Previous slide. Okay. Thank you so much, Isaac. So we had these sentences, and we can ask any 2 volunteers to pick any 2 questions and change them to direct speech because they are presented in the indirect way or reported speech. So I ask you to read it and then put it in direct speech. If there is any sentence you think you can work on, kindly raise your hand and then share with us. They are all 5, but we're going to do only 2 for purposes of lesson review, to remind ourselves of the things we covered last time. So if there is any sentence displayed that you think you can convert into direct speech, kindly raise your hand. Anyone? People, I don't think I had only Melissa. I won't pick Melissa now. Any other person, please? Yes, Bethany. Thank you.
Number
Yes,
1,
yes, please.
open quotation marks. Have you brought the document? Question mark, then you close the quotation marks. He asked.
Okay, thank you very much. That's correct. And maybe another person can say he asked me. Yeah, to indicate the owner of the question, like the person who was asked. Thank you very much, Bethany, for that wonderful answer. And I like that you're so keen with the punctuation. Many people got it wrong last time with the punctuation. So I'm glad you're also keen. That's one. We need to move to the other assignment. Any other person? If there is any number you think you can work out, please raise your hand and give us the answer. Okay, Melissa, thank you.
Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
open quotation marks. I am going home after watching the film. Full stop, close quotation marks. Martha said Martha.
Thank you very much, Melissa. That's correct. Yes, that is how we change some of these sentences from indirect speech to direct speech. Faith has even written it down for us in the meeting chat in case you don't know how to punctuate, in case you don't know the quotation marks they are talking about. Faith has written it for everyone in the meeting chat. Okay, Isaac, let's move to the next assignment. Thank you so much. Here we have 5, and these are the answers. These are the questions you were supposed to answer and send to me on WhatsApp or on my email. Yes, many people answered, so let's just talk about them. Let's answer them verbally for us to know how to go about it. I pray that we answer all the 5 since we are doing it verbally. So if there is any of the 5 that you can answer, please raise your hand and help us. If you can answer any of the 5, people, I encourage you to please take part. I encourage you to raise your hand and answer. The questions are 5. So Bethany is going to answer 1 of the 5, and I pray that I get new voices. I have Nora. I've already chosen her to be the second speaker. So Bethany, you go first and Nora will come after you.
Number 1, the judge
Yes.
said he always wakes up to go to court.
Let me see. Yes. So please read the question, then read the answer. Makes much more sense.
Open quotation marks. I always wake up to go to court, comma, close quotation marks, said the judge. Full stop.
Okay.
The judge said he always wakes up to go to court.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bethany. Yes, Nora.
Number 2, open quotation marks. Do not be engaged in corruption, comma, close quotation marks. The police officer warned the youth, full stop. The police officer warned the youth not to be engaged in corruption.
Okay, thank you very much. That's correct. I need other presenters. We still have 3 more questions to answer. Isaac, please take on number 3. My co-host, you usually keep quiet there.
The police, we shall confiscate smuggled goods, the police chief said. The police chief said that we should
Isaac, what does we change to?
The police chief said that they shall confiscate smuggled goods.
Okay, you've not changed shall. Can you please work it out and we get a totally correct answer? Shall also changes to something different. It changes the tense.
The police chief said that they should confiscate smuggled goods.
Could change to should or would. Yes, both would be okay. Thank you so much, dear Isaac. Mauricia. Mauricia, are you there? Oh, Mauricia is not talking. So Faith.
Open quotation marks. Has the investor paid the taxes? Question mark. Close quotation marks. Peter has asked. Peter has asked if the investor had paid the taxes.
Have you marked the tense? Peter has just asked.
Yeah, it has.
Yes. So if you see that the tense is has, it means it has just happened. It is in the present tense. So you may want to leave the exact uttered words the way they are. For example, Peter has asked whether or if the investor has paid the taxes. Is that okay? Jonah, please stop playing with our whiteboard. You're going to be removed from the lesson the next time you do that. Okay, we still have 1 question to go, and I'm going to give it to Petrina.
Open quotation. Where have you been? Question mark, close quotation. Nyonjo asked me. Nyonjo asked me where I had been.
Wow, that's nice. Thank you so much. Queen has written it down for us. Thank you so much. That's correct. So people, that is our lesson review. And I hope that you've managed to remember at least what we covered last time. So Isaac, I see you're already here. Please move us to our next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So in brief, like Melissa has already done the lesson review, we looked at anti-corruption and its definition. Melissa has already defined it. We also looked at the definition of the word corruption, and then forms of corruption. We learned how to use direct speech to discuss aspects of anti-corruption. And then we have also done corrections of our previous assignments. Yes, thank you so much to everyone that has taken part in the lesson review. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, Isaac. All right, all right. So today we are going to look at something very important, something that many people use in their workplaces, in their offices, in their homes, in their relationships, in several aspects of life. But we want to learn how to do it the official way. So we are going to go through it. We are going to define it. We are going to have a sample. We are going to actually write one this afternoon. And we're going to talk about the different types of this aspect. And we're going to have many other things that we do. So the thing we are going to look at today is report writing. We're going to learn how to write a report in case you have an office or in case you conduct a survey and you're asked to present your findings. There is a format you will have to use. And today we are going to learn about it. So we're going to do report writing. If you're taking notes in your notebook, you can write it down. If you're using your phone and it's yours, you can take a screenshot and maybe you make your notes later on. The most important thing is for you to learn how to actually write a report. Yes. So I got a simple definition of a report. I'm going to ask any volunteer to read it out for me. Any volunteer to read for us? Yes, Jamie. Jamie has a connection challenge, so I'm going to ask Marcus. Yes, Marcus.
Yes. A report is the process of documenting findings, analysis, and giving recommendations in a structured format.
Yes, thank you very much. Report writing is the process of documenting findings. Yes, if you are a witness or if you conduct a survey or if you've been doing some work and then you have to report maybe to your seniors or for record purposes. Yes, what you do is what we call report writing. You document your findings or analysis. And the most important part of a report is the recommendation section. Yes, after knowing what's happening, after being a witness of what has just happened, after seeing how things are conducted, maybe if you're making a survey, what then? What next? You must be able to make recommendations. Otherwise, you'll be spreading rumors. Yes, you must be able to make recommendations or suggestions. You say, this is how things are happening, but I suggest that this and this and this should be done to make everything much better. Okay, so you can write that. You can write that phrase. Audrey, can you hear me? Audrey? Okay, I hope you know why I've been calling your name, because you've rectified. Thank you so much. Stop playing with our board, please, because I'm going to remove you from this lesson. Yes, if you keep playing with our board. All right, Isaac, let's move to the next slide. Thank you so much. So on this particular slide, we're going to look at why we make when we make reports. When do we find it necessary to make reports? Let me get a volunteer. Jonah, are you there? Jonah, I see you're very busy in the meeting chat, so I'm going to ask you to unmute and read for us the circumstances when we actually make reports.
We make reports when giving factual and formal detailed accounts or events, incidents, crime, environment, finances, and other happenings. When we are given particular assignments, when we occupy given offices, when we are witnesses, when we conduct study surveys, etc.
Thank you so much, Jonah. So these are some of the situations we find ourselves in and we have to make a report. If there was an event and you must give facts in a formal way, not just verbally, you write a report. If there is an incident, maybe a child, Richard of senior one, was climbing the mango tree next to the administration block and he fell down, and they ask you to put it in writing, you'll have to write an incidental report. Yes, if there is crime, so and so has raped a girl, has stolen from someone, has maybe battered a friend, you will need to make a report. Some reports about our environment. We have maybe rains, floods, whatever. You may want to make a report about the amount of sunshine you've had. Yes, you will have to write a report, and any other happenings, as long as you're going to report about it formally, then you write an actual report, the report we are going to learn about today. When you're given a particular assignment, maybe you're in charge of a debate club and maybe you've gone for a debate. Yes, sometimes it would be very good and professional view to provide a report showing what happened, how it transpired, and most importantly, I'll keep emphasizing this. Most important, we do better. Yes, there is always something we can do to better what is already our best result. Yes. When we occupy given offices, I know that some of you already have offices as prefects, as senators, as presidents in your schools. Yes, you will find yourself making a report about your term, maybe your semester as a prefectorial body, yes, or senate body. You will find yourself giving a report depending on the office that you occupy. Then later in life, you're going to be working. You will find yourselves in offices, you're leading an organization, you're leading people, you're making sales. Some people give financial reports. So you find yourself making a financial report, and it's also part of what we are going to learn today. When an accident happens and you are there, you're a witness, so you're asked to make a report. We are going to also learn about that today. When you conduct a survey, you also make a report. When you're asked to conduct a survey, maybe to find some information, you present it in form of a report. Yes. And these are very common in the new curriculum because you're asked to conduct a survey and you present it to people. You give the given information in an organized way and you make it in form of a report. Okay. Next slide. No. The other slide. Yes. Thank you so much, Isaac. As we go to the types of reports, I must let you know that it is never limited to this, but these are just a few of those that you can know. and then you will add on the list when you go back to your schools. Some people may even be knowing other reports that they are going to tell me right now. So I'm going to ask any volunteer once again to read for me. And if you're reading and there is anything you can say about the type of report you've read out, feel free to add it. Say, I'm very sure this is about this and this. So you read it out and give us brief information about it. You could also surf on the internet and find out what some of these reports actually mean. Josiah is going to go first. Thank you.
The school term report. I think the school term report, like, is whereby it is given to you when the term is ending, whereby it has your results through the term.
Okay, thank you so much, Josiah. That's correct. Your teachers, after teaching you for a period of around 3 months, they give your parents a termly report. And in the new curriculum reports, you have to indicate even the acquired skills, generic skills. Can Josiah read coherently? Can he speak confidently? Like, which other skill does he have? Can he use ICT to compute things, to make a PowerPoint presentation? Those are skills, generic skills that your teachers have to report about to your parents or your sponsors. Thank you so much, Josiah. I have Debbie. Yes, Debbie.
On school term report, this is where they put the days where I go back to school after the end of that term.
Okay, thank you so much, Debbie, for adding your voice to that. Yes, that school term report also indicates when the new term is starting, if there is any change in the school fees or any dues, any school dues. Yes, that's a school term report. Is there any other report that you know about? Someone is called labs. Is it labs, loops, something like that? Please unmute.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
Investigative reports. These are reports written like after you've carried out like your investigation about something, or like the number of accidents in an area. You write what your findings. That's an investigative report.
Okay, thank you so much. That's correct. So an investigative report speaks for itself. You make an investigation, get findings, and then present them in a report. As simple as that. Maybe there is crime, because to investigate means you'll be interrogating people, silently getting information, and at the end of the day, you make a report. And like I said previously, you must give recommendations. Yes, after finding the different information you presented, it is very important for you to give suggestions on what can be done to improve the situation, because the mere fact that you're making a report means something has to be done to have a better result. Maybe there is a problem which you're looking to solve. So if you make an investigative report, kindly put recommendations. You must put recommendations, because most times people actually know what's happening. They do. But all they need is for you to give them a way forward. What do we do? And, as part of the 21st century children, you must have problem-solving skills. If you just write what's happening, I mean, any person can write what's happening. But the most important thing is for you to give a solution in form of a suggestion or recommendation. Thank you. Thank you so much, Labs, for that analysis. Marcus is up here to give us another type and maybe to explain what it means.
Yes, I'm going to talk about a financial report. The financial reports, they're basically to talk about money. So say they give you a specific amount of money. You have to account for it. Then you write the accountability in a report form. That's what I had to say.
Okay, thank you so much, Marcus. And I like your choice of words, account. You remember we talked about transparency and accountability when we're talking about the aims of anti-corruption. Why should you do things to curb down corruption, to improve on accountability? And that's why we are even learning about report writing. If they have given you money to buy something and you're not corrupt, yes, why shouldn't you account for the money given to you? If there is any balance, you present it. If there is a deficit, you indicate what you did with the money provided. You can even include receipts in a financial report for you to indicate that you're doing the most about this. So you present everything that shows transparency and accountability in a financial report. And remember, many problems, many forms of corruption come from money. When people want money, when people want quick money, money they have not worked for, they have put you in an office, they have given you money. So you find people not actually reporting. Say, can you show me your reports for the previous year? Nothing. So if you're going to be an accountable citizen, you must learn how to write a financial report. Yes. Thank you so much, dear Marcus. Drusilla is giving us written information about a financial report. You could go to the meeting chat and peep at what she's writing for us. Is there any type we have not defined? Yes, Melissa?
Simple reports are used to report incidents that may affect a person in any other way. They are usually used directly to a particular person.
Okay, do you want to give us an example?
I don't have an example.
Okay, thank you so much. So is there any person who wants to add some information about a simple report? Melissa has given us the bottom line, which is correct. And I want somebody to add something to that. What is a simple report? She says it's a report you write to someone in particular. Is there anyone who wants to add a thing? And most importantly, to give us an example of what a simple report is. Anyone? You just raise your hand. And we still have an incidental report. Yes, we have two. So in case you can define an incidental report, please raise your hand and share with us. You could even type in your Chrome or Google, whatever website you're using. You would just ask what is an incidental report or what is a simple report. Then you share your findings with us. We have any volunteer? Annabelle, you're very quiet. Please unmute and tell us something about an incidental report. So like Melissa has said, a simple report is, just like its name suggests, a simple report you write to someone's office directly to show findings of a given task. Can be a simple task, it can be a simple occurrence, and then you report. Yes, say there is sports day at school and you want to report to your head teacher about how it has gone, the houses that have participated, the winners, if there was a fight. Yes, it will be a simple report you give to maybe the sports master or the head teacher or any other office. Now, incidental reports. Is there anyone who wants to say something about incidental reports? Brielle, today you're very quiet. I don't know why. Yes, Josiah.
An incidental report is like a process of recording worksite events, including like near misses and injuries and accidents.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Josiah. And that's correct, like Josiah has presented it. Yes, this is a report you make to account or to document occurrences of something maybe unexpected or something unusual happening. Yes, you may find that we have a history of such a thing happening in the past, but it's not something you sit and expect that at the end of this week, I'm going to write this report. For example, accidents fall under this type of report, incidental reports. If there is a house that has collapsed, maybe a site, people were still constructing, and then we have it collapse, you must write an incidental report. If maybe a boat has capsized, you write an incidental report because it is not something you expect. And like Josiah has said, you must indicate if there are any casualties or any losses or anything, any findings you have, what caused it, what could have caused it, what can we do to make it right. If there is any disease outbreak, you can write about it. You indicate the number of cases, number of deaths, and everything else. Next report. Next slide. Okay, thank you so much, Isaac. This is the format of a report. For people that are taking notes, you could just write these 6 steps very fast. And I'm going to ask one person to read them all out for us. If they can explain a few things here and there, well and good. If they can't, then we're going to see how to go about it. Yes, Debbie? Debbie, are you there?
A title. It is not underlined. Introduction, body, conclusion, recommendation, signing off on the left-hand side.
Okay, thank you so much, Debbie. Is there any bit of information you want to add on that format of a report? Okay. Yes, Anita?
Teacher, I'm sorry to disturb you, but may you please put back on the first slide?
What exactly do you want to see? Because I need to guide Isaac well.
Well, I had come late.
Anita?
Yeah.
So for purposes of helping, we are going to ask Isaac to go to our first slide and go through them pretty fast. We are going to give each slide like 10 seconds for you to look at the definition of report writing, the different types like that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Isaac, let's take it back to report writing. Yes, here. So Anita, I hope you're seeing the definition.
Yes, teacher.
Isaac, next slide.
Maybe she can also screenshot.
Yes, Anita, Isaac is suggesting that you take screenshots. However, we are going to share this PowerPoint in our WhatsApp group. Anita, are you in the WhatsApp group?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to share my number at the end of the lesson. And
Even
I'll help
me,
you.
I'm not there.
It is okay. Don't worry. We are all going to get the number. And then I'm going to maybe paste the link. I think the easiest way is for me to paste the link in our meeting chat, and then we shall all join the WhatsApp group. In that group, we share all the lessons, all the subjects from Monday to Friday, and we even have the recordings of the lessons we had last week. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so Anita, I think we are now back and we are on the same page. Is that true?
No.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So Debbie took us through the list here, and I'm just going to talk about it briefly. The most important thing is for us to have the sample and then see the question.
Okay.
So your report must have a title.
Yes.
So your report must have a title.
Yes.
I advise that you indicate what your report about what. It is very important for you to indicate what your report is about. Because trust me, if you're having your office and you have different reports and maybe you have to make accountability, it will be very easy for you to choose the reports that you need if they are well titled. Yes, you must give them good titles that indicate the topic of discussion. So write your title in capitals or uppercase. And then after that, yes, Melissa, your hand is up. Do you have an inquiry? Yes, Melissa.
I would like to say something about the body.
Okay, go ahead.
This is where the reason or purpose of writing the report is written.
Okay. Thank you. That's correct. That is the part of the report that has exactly what you found, what you're reporting about, like Melissa has said. So back to this list, after writing your title, you write your introduction. What is in the introduction? Showing the date, the time, the reason for writing. Yes, you will indicate that on the 25th of May, we held debate competitions at St. Mary's Chitende, and below are the findings, and or below is a report of how it transpired, or how it went, and how we managed to go through it. You introduce what you're going to do. Yes. Be keen to indicate the date and time and place, especially if it is an incidental report. Okay. Then, yes, like Melissa has said, in the body, that's where you present all your findings. If they're in different aspects, you can write subtitles and align them, and then present the different bits of information under the different subtitles. You have a conclusion. You conclude, of course, just like any other write-up. You must end it naturally. Then after your conclusion, very importantly, you must indicate recommendations. You can call them suggestions if you like it. Yes, you can have as many as you want. A report doesn't have a standard size. It depends on what you're writing and depends on the amount of words they have allowed you to use. If it's for examination purposes, if it's work related, then you know how important the report you're making is. So you give it sufficient detail. Yes, depends on what you want. Then you sign off on the left-hand side, exactly on the margin, unlike a letter where we sign on the right-hand side. For a report, you write down. And I have a sample for you. Don't you worry about all these, the things I'm talking about. We're going to look at a sample and see how to sign out and see how to write these subtitles I'm talking about, to write the title, the introduction, everything. Okay. So before we go to the next slide, I want to first pause and ask a question. Is there any person here who has ever written a report? Anyone here who has ever written a report?
Yeah.
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 Okay. If you don't mind, you're going to raise your hand and share with us. Like, what was the report about? Did you put any recommendations? Just tell us about your experience. Junior, do you want to go first? Okay, let's start with Petrina, then Hanifa.
Okay, so when teacher told us to write a report at school, it was about some field work study about problems faced by children in that area. So they told us that we're supposed to write about at least 3 problems and we're supposed to give solutions, not more than 10. She gave us not more than 10 because she didn't want them to be crowded. She was like, you're supposed to give at most 10 solutions to those problems that you have listed about. It was about any village. Yeah.
Okay, was it very easy for you to write the report?
Not really, because we didn't know how we were supposed to write the report.
Okay, thank you so much, Petrina, for sharing. And that is it. It was a school-related report, field work about children. And Petrina's teacher was very particular, especially with the recommendations. She told them they have to give something like 10 solutions. Those are recommendations or suggestions. And I'm very glad you managed to pull it off, much as it wasn't easy. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, Hanifa? Hanifa is not talking. Do we have any other? Yes, Hanifa, I see you're unmuted. Hanifa? Hanifa is not sharing. Any other person who has ever written a report? We want to know about your experiences. Isaac, my co-host, have you ever written a report?
No.
Not even one in your life? Okay, today you're going to write one. I promise you. Yes, Marcus?
Yes, I had written a report like, after carrying out a survey, they tell you like write a report. So I carried out like a survey about restaurants, most favored restaurants in Uganda. So like we had to write like the report, conclusion, yeah, basically that stuff. So like summarize them like in percentages, like this one had 50% customers, this one had 40% customers, something like that.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for sharing. I like that. That you even have statistics. As you're presenting your findings, my dear, we go back to our definition that you're presenting facts. It is very important for you to have statistics in your reports, in your findings. Put those percentages, put the numbers, show the increases and decreases. If there are any improvements, if there are any declines, please indicate. That's what report writing is all about. Thank you so much, Marcus, for highlighting that and make me remember that we need those statistics. It's very important. Even if you're doing it for examination purposes, yes, feel free to come up with some percentages. The goal is for you to show that you know how to write a report. Even if it's just for examination purposes, please show your examiner that you know the art of writing a report. And when it's time for you to apply this skill in real life, maybe you're having a business or you're occupying an office, you are going to do it perfectly and you will stand out from the crowd because your report writing skills will be way above average. Yes, statistics, and statistics. Facts. Thank you so much, Marcus. Any other person who wants to share with us? I had prepared these minutes for us to share our experiences. If you've ever written any report for any purpose, just share with us. Yes, Melissa?
Okay, mine was a scientific report whereby with the title, like the topic was diffusion. We had to carry out an experiment and then report our findings. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa. Did you find it very easy to report on that subject?
No, we had to ask the teacher for some guidelines.
Okay. Thank you so much, Melissa. Any other person that has ever made a report? Okay. Come and share with us. I have Natasha here and she tells me she has also ever made a report. So I'm going to ask her to report to us and tell us what it was about.
Good afternoon, guys. For me, my report was about our tour. Now, what I got from that experience is that when you are writing a report, you're supposed to write the true things that really happened, the things that you would like to change. Now, like for me in the tour, I really enjoyed the tour, but our history teacher told us to write a report. And what I put in my report was the historical sites we visited, the problems we faced there, what we would like to improve on our next tour. So what's about a report is that you're supposed to write something that really happened, and if you can present evidence, let's say if you're on a tour, like take some photographs, and let's say you're going to talk about the sites, you show them in your report, you show them the photographs or videos.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Natasha has brought in another element of evidence. In case you're in an office and you're going to indicate that there is need for like more financing or any other thing, it is very important for you to present pictures or videos and attach them to the report. It makes your report worthwhile. It makes it amazing. It makes it believable. Yes. Thank you so much, dear Natasha, for presenting that. I've seen people in offices who present false information, and the consequences are there because some of them lose their jobs, others are demoted. So if you can really write a good report, then you'll be perfect at your job. Any other person who wants to share with us as we close this chapter? We have just 1 minute for it. Okay, thank you so much to all those that have shared and made us realize that it's possible and it's a relevant skill. I'm glad that we've all managed to write a report here and there. And those of you that have not written a report, it's very important that you're going to start from an informed point of view. You're not going to be starting from scratch. So Isaac, let's see what's in our next slide. Okay, thank you so much. These are more tips. Jonah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you please apologize to the person you've abused in the meeting chat?
Teacher, it wasn't me.
Who was it? Who is using your phone in the meeting chat? Okay. Next time, much better. And people, for purposes of information, Isaac has already shared our meeting platform. If you want to join WhatsApp, please go to the meeting chat and tap on the link. You will join the group. You will join the WhatsApp group. Let's try to respect one another. Yes, don't carry out cyberbullying inside our lesson. That is so disrespectful, and we shall not have it go unpunished. Okay, so we have more tips here for report writing, and I'm going to ask Queen Flash. Queen Flash, please unmute and read them out for us. They're just a few tips, and then we shall go to our sample. Queen Flash is not unmuting. I don't know. Maybe we get any volunteer to read for us. Yes, Josiah. Thank you.
More tips for report writing. It is advisable that you write your title in capital letters. Subtitles in small letters can be used. Underline them. The conclusion comes before the recommendation. Sign off last like. Complied by. Sign where Tracy. Sport captain.
Thank you, Josiah. That word is read as compiled. Compiled by. Please read it again.
Compiled by.
Thank you. Yes, that's how you sign off on a report. Yes. Compiled by, some people say report by. You put your signature. Feel free to write your illegible signature or your name in small letters. Whatever works for you as a signature will work there. Then write your name in full and in capitals. Then write your capacity, like you're reporting as who? Sports captain, chairperson of the committee, secretary. Like in your capacity, indicate your capacity down there after signing your report. That's our last tip. And I hope you also consider the previous tips given. Isaac, we move to the next slide. Thank you so much. So we're going to have a sample report. I just put those pictures for you to see. Some people have annual reports. Some people just present financial reports. Like somebody already mentioned, you see the pictures given, you see statistics given. You know, they are beautiful, beautiful reports. And you must learn how to use your PowerPoints to present a report in case you want to make a presentation actually, and maybe display or project your report. You need to make it beautiful for you to be able to convince maybe your sponsors or your customers or your bosses or your clients or your employers or employees. Yes, you need to present a wonderful PowerPoint presentation, beautifully made. That's why I put these pictures. So at this point, there is a sample I got from the New Vision textbook that most of you use in your schools. So I'm going to ask Isaac to take us to that scanned document. It's the sample report that we have. So Isaac, you could take us to the scanned document, which shows a report, and then we move forward. Okay. In the meantime, as Isaac is getting there, I see Labs. Are you Laban? I don't know what your name is. Please unmute, tell me your name, and then tell me why your hand is up.
Teacher, my name is Lubs.
Just that?
Yes. Okay, no, it's a
short form for?
Luberenga.
Oh, wow. That's nice. You know, I usually find those short forms so amusing. There is a child I teach, his name is Chivumbi. He calls himself Kivs. And I find that so funny. I laugh at his name all the time, Kivs. So now I have Lubs. So Lubs, your hand is up. What's up?
Teacher, like when we were at school, the teacher told us when you're writing a report, you're not supposed to write your name in small letters, even if it's better even if you just make up a fake signature, but you're not supposed to write your name in small letters. And then for you say that both the fake signature and your name in small letters are correct. So I'm confused.
Okay, please don't get confused. I totally agree with your teacher that you can make up a signature. However, for some people that I know, even mature people, they never get to come up with a signature. Some people can't sign, by the way. So they maybe put their thumbprint, or the best they can do is write their name maybe in small letters. However, it is very important for you as a civilized citizen to get a signature that is illegible, that is strictly just produced by you, because you're going to be handling lots of money. You must be able to account for that. I totally agree with your teacher, Loops. You must come up with a signature, and the earlier the better. The earlier the better. Some of you are signatories to your parents' accounts, just that some of you don't know yet. They don't want you to grow wings and start beating people, slapping the people you meet on compound. But you're big time signatories, and you must come up with a signature that will help you conduct those transactions. Thank you for highlighting that, Loops, and I totally agree with your teacher. However, if you don't have it, yes, you don't leave the space blank. You write your name in small letters. Do you get the difference?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, I also totally encourage you to come up with a signature. And the earlier, the better. Just have it, keep improving it until when you feel like it's perfect and it represents your brand. Thank you. Yes, Debbie?
Teacher, I have a question. When we are writing the reason for the report, do we put it in the introduction or body?
We put it in the introduction, please.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have here our sample report. Isaac is going to keep scrolling. It's not too long. That's like halfway because it's just a sample. So I'm going to ask any volunteer to take us through. Anyone who loves reading, this is a lot of reading to do. If you know how to read, please raise your hand and then take us through this sample report. I am going to ask Karen, since this is her first time, to put her hand up.
Sample report. A report to the head teacher on the friendly match that took place between Kanakulia Secondary School and Muyebe Secondary School. Introduction. On Friday, 25th January 2021, our school held a football match with Muyebe Secondary School, our neighboring school. Below is a detailed report on the events of the day. Departure. At exactly 8 a.m., the school bus was already parked right at the school gate, ready to ferry the school team and a sizable number of supporters. We reached there at around 8:30 a.m. and the match commenced at 9 a.m. Smartness. All students were required to appear dressed in their full school uniform, including the players. It was not until they reached there that they changed into their jerseys. Whoever was not in full school uniform was turned away right at school. Discipline. I am glad to report that our students exhibited a high degree of discipline. The match. Both teams put a spirited fight, and both teams put up a spirited fight, and the match ended in a draw. We both scored 1 goal apiece. Food. Learners went hungry the whole day. Some learners were forced to use their pocket money to buy something to eat. Conclusion. The events of the day went on smoothly and activities ended at 4 p.m. and by 6:30 p.m. all the students were back to school safe. Recommendations. The administration, through the sports patron, should devise means of catering for students food next time. The kitchen department should always prepare packed lunch for the students on such outings. Compiled by Nekesa Mary, sports captain. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Karen. You're such a wonderful, composed, coherent reader. I like that. Thank you so much for taking us through this report. And I'm very sure many people have got the steps that we take to write a simple report to someone. Remember, we said when you're writing a simple report, you're writing it to someone's office to give accountability and to actually make recommendations on something. For this particular report, it's a sports event. We have already talked about the fact that you can report about a debate, tournament. You could report from your office, maybe if you're the sports captain and you want to show the things that have happened in your office, you can also write that report. And like we've said earlier in the first session of our lesson, if you are a witness in a situation where we have something accidental that has abruptly happened, you also write an incidental report giving that different details. So we're going to give it like 2 more minutes for some people that are maybe taking down the reports or the steps taken to write a report. We're going to give you strictly 2 to look at it, maybe remember a few things here and there, and then we shall continue to our next item. Yes, Senoga, are you posing a question?
Yes, madam.
Go ahead.
At our school in senior one, third term, they taught us about report making, and they say that it also includes terms of reference, methods of investigation, something like that, and which is not reflected here. I'm a bit confused.
What does that mean? Terms of reference?
The people, I think it means the people involved and their duties.
That is an investigative report, right?
Yes, madam.
Yes, you
Is
present
it
those.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Earlier on, we looked at the different types of a report. So terms of reference will refer to the different people that we can refer to if we need details of the given investigation or survey. So you will indicate the people that actually talk to the people that extracted the different types of data. These are the people you can talk to, and this is common in an investigative report where people will take their time and work it out as a team. Yes, but you can always include that, and those come immediately after the conclusion before you give your suggestions. Okay, I hope that is clear. Senoga, is it?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So I believe for people that are taking notes, we are through. Now we are going to go back to our PowerPoint, dear Isaac, and then we look at our assignment to see how it is done. Thank you. Next. Okay, thank you so much. I had many people that wanted to read in the previous time. However, I see 2 hands up. Let me first attend to them. One person is using iPhone 12, and I don't know their name. Kindly unmute, tell me your name, and then go ahead to ask or maybe comment.
Yes. My name is Anisha.
Yes, Anisha, we are glad to hear from you. Is there anything you want to tell us?
No, I wanted to read and I accidentally left my hand up. Sorry.
So you're going to read for us the assignment, don't you think so? The scenario?
All right.
It's okay, but let me first hear from Anita. Anita, is it the same case?
Teacher, I was actually asking, what's the difference between an investigative report and an incidental report?
Okay. Is there any person who can answer Anita? That's a very good question. I like it. If we have any child who can answer Anita, that will make me proud. What is the difference between an investigative report and an incidental report? Anyone? You can give an example. You can use statistics. Just give us the difference because they are different. Yes, Loops.
I think investigative report is like the report, like let me say that I've told you to like find how many accidents happen in an area. So you carry out an investigation, then you write a report. Then incidental is like writing a report about what happened, like an event, something like that.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. That's correct. Any other person who wants to add something to that? What is the difference between these two reports? Loops has already given us good insight, so I expect somebody else to also add something. What is an incidental report? Then what is an investigative report? First, look at the root words. you know, like the word incident and the word investigate. That will give you a hint on the difference. And then raise your hand and share with us. I know many people, legends of this generation, are running to their Google, to Meta AI. That's okay. If you get the answer, please raise your hand and share with us. It is okay. Very fine. We need to know the difference. Yes, Melissa.
The one for investigation, the investigation report is like what it involves the discoveries, maybe what you found out during the investigation, what challenges, maybe information. Then the incident, for example, an accident happened, and maybe you're a witness. You write that specific report to indicate what happened. Maybe the driver was drunk, maybe the driver was overloading. That's what an incident report can be about.
Okay, thank you so much, dear Melissa. Thank you for even adding some examples. So, Anita, are you beginning to get the difference?
Yes.
So what I can add to that, an incidental report is immediate. Yes. Like if something has happened and it raises eyebrows, they may want to ask the officer on duty, the witness, to write what exactly happened, what went wrong that very day, that very incident. Let's say maybe if there was an accident, they may ask someone to give a report. Someone may even just write an account of how it happened. So we're just seated there and a vehicle came in, over driving. It's as if you're narrating the incident and how it happened. Yes. Most times incidental reports have a few recommendations, but because somebody has not actually investigated to know the situation, they may be limited to like 2 to 3 recommendations. Like how I see it, I think we can curb this down by doing this and this. So it is largely telling a story of the incident. So in your body, you will give a bigger part of explaining what happened. Then for an investigative report, maybe something has been happening. Maybe there is a particular spot on this road where accidents usually happen. Even if there is no accident today, they will send someone to come and investigate, ask the people that stay around. Look for the victims of the previous accidents. Go make your research and report to us. And in an investigative report, we expect very many recommendations because we take it that you've gone to the depth of this problem, you've investigated, and you know what's happening. So it is more of a report intended to root out a problem, or maybe to give credit if it's something good, to see how it can be improved or maintained. So we expect more recommendations from an investigative report than we do from an incidental report. I hope that makes it a bit clearer for you, Anita, and everyone else who had such a question.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, so we're going to have Anisha, was it Anisha, read for us the assignment for us to see what we need to do.
Assignment. Imagine a stakeholder embezzled billions of money meant for construction of a new school library, science laboratory, and dining hall. There is a public outcry about the act. Task. Write a simple report to the Member of Parliament highlighting who committed the offence and with whom, where and when, how he or she was dealt with, and generally how it ended. Remember to give recommendations.
Okay, thank you so much, Anisha. So we are going to write a report about such a thing. It's an imagination. I'm not going to say that there is any stakeholder somewhere who has just embezzled billions or whatever, but just imagine it has happened and you are writing a simple report. I want us to first take like 5 minutes and maybe summarize some of the things we're going to include in our report. Then we are going to share. What I want is for you to come up with what you think you're going to actually write in a report. Yes. You are going to maybe read for us your title, the sample title. And then your work, like how you were supposed to write a report. I'm going to give you around 5 minutes. 5. Organize yourselves and we are going to share. As we keep sharing, some people will be getting it very well and they will be able to write a report. I hope the assignment is understood. If you have any questions as to why we're going to mute for 5 minutes, you can ask now, because we want to mute and focus on the assignment, then share how we are going to go about our report. If someone is very quick and they can come up with this report in 5 minutes, well and good. We could have the work shared verbatim. If you think you need 10, you let me know and I'll give you 10. Then we can use the last minutes of the lesson to share.
They're asking what has happened.
Okay, people, we have used around 4. I want to be sure you're on the task. Are we still on the same page? Are we all still working on the report? The assignment is clearly projected for all of us, so I expect that we are all working on the report, but please let me know if you are. Are you working on the report, good people?
Yes, madam.
Okay, that's
Yes.
all right. Okay, thank you for that feedback. So let's stay on the task. Okay, and when you're through, maybe the first person to finish, you just drop a message in the chatting box, in the meeting chat. I'll be there. Then we shall unmute. And then see how to go about it. Isaac, someone has a request. I think they have got the question. Now they want us to go back to the page that shows the sample report. Yes, you could show us the sample report. I saw you pinched it out and made it one whole display showing both sides. That was so good. So please show us that. Some people want to have an example that they will use as they are answering this question. Thank you so much. Thank you.
what's going.
Hi.
What's going on?
Sì, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Yeah.
Are we gone?
Mãe, you give me.
Hanifa, Hanifa, have you finished?
Yes.
Have you finished?
Okay.
Sorry?
Madam.
Yes, please. So Isaac has projected both the question and sample or example. So our time for this assignment is done. Now, if you know you're ready to share with us, kindly raise your hand and share with us what you have written so far. Anyone willing to share, you just raise your hand. We have all 20 minutes of sharing, and that activity is going to take us to the end of the lesson. When we are done sharing, someone is going to review the lesson. And that will be the end of our holiday studies. And I hope that they have been so beneficial to you. And I pray that we cooperate in these last 20 minutes. So you raise your hand when you're through, or if you think you can share with us and just tell us, maybe teacher, me, I've done up to this and I'm now coming up with the recommendations or something like that. You just raise your hand and share with us what you've done concerning the given assignment. We are supposed to write a report. Yes, Melissa is going to go first in this activity, which is our last activity of the lesson. Try to share something, say something to indicate that you're part of the lesson and you've learned a thing or two. So over to you, Melissa, as our first presenter.
Okay. My title was a report on the embezzled billions of money meant for construction of a new school library, science laboratory, and dining hall. My introduction, I just imagined the date. So on the 2nd of May, 2024, a stakeholder embezzled billions of money meant for the construction of a new school library, science laboratory, and dining hall. It was noticed that there was a public outcry upon the act. Basing on the public outcry, it signifies that the victim was not dealt with, so the matter was not sorted out. So some of my recommendations were, the victim must be arrested because embezzlement is an illegal act and very offensive to the people who were affected. Complied by Chirabo Melissa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Melissa, for that report. Is there any person who wants to react to Melissa's report? Is there anything you want to say about her report? Just feedback. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. I'm going to react at the end of our presentations. I'm taking notes. So any other person who wants to present to us their report, you're welcome. Just raise your hand and let us be sure that you're going to unmute and give us what we need at this particular point of our lesson. Feedback, showing that we have learned and we have put in practice. Any other person to share with us? Thank you so much, Melissa. Yes, Drusilla, thank you.
Okay, mine starts like this. The title is a report about the embezzled money. The report about the embezzled billions of money by an official. On Monday, the 13th of May, Mr. Kinene Michelle, the treasurer of the district community, was found embezzling millions of money from the nearby forest known as Chipande. The incident took place around 2 p.m. and the man was not working alone. He was accompanied by 4 men and other two women whose names are not discovered since they ran away and left him to face justice alone. When the paper boys were walking past the park, they saw the shameful act and being practiced and quickly reacted by getting branches of sticks and hitting them black and blue. The nearby police was then informed and then came, but they could only get Mr. Kinene since the other colleagues had run off. This man was later arrested and taken for interrogation. My recommendation is I therefore advise the minister to get more trustworthy district workers in order for the money not to be handed over to SATSIL.
Okay, thank you so much, Drusilla, for that wonderful report. I like the attention to detail given. Any other person who wants to share? Like I promised, I'm going to give my reviews at the end of your sharing. So, any other person? Let me check here. Any other person who wants to share with us what they have come up with? Okay. I thank the two girls that have already presented. Any boy? I need a boy. Okay, Nora. Let's have Nora as we wait to have a gentleman. Yes, Nora. Nora, it's your time to share. Yes, Nora. Okay, people try to keep your microphones muted.
Oh, please. Nora.
Kulthum, do you want to present your report? Okay. One last person, especially a boy. I would like to get a gentleman sharing their report. I don't know if my co-host, Isaac, managed to write a report since he was using his laptop to display. But Isaac, did you manage to write a report? Yes, Katuma, did you manage to write a report? Okay. So I would like to thank you very, very much for taking part in this lesson. Most importantly, to thank you for managing to write your reports. I can see many people have written because they are sharing in my inbox, and I don't know, maybe people's microphones are not working. So I thank you so much for taking part in this lesson. Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. Okay. So I thank you so much for taking part in this lesson. And like I said, most importantly, for taking part in the given activities. Yes, some people are telling me their microphones are not working, but I hope we shall be able to get to a place where we get feedback. Maybe you can send me your work. You can maybe send it in the WhatsApp group. At the end of the day, the most important thing is for us to have feedback to know that studying has happened. teaching has happened, but also learning has also happened. I thank the two people that managed to present their reports, and I would like to encourage you to continue giving details. If they have asked you to write a report to a member of parliament, it is very important for you to choose any district or any constituency and put it. If it's not stipulated in the question, you need to know that a report is written to a particular office. So you're writing to maybe the permanent secretary, or if they say you write to the member of parliament, you must choose a district or a constituency, you say, of Busiro North. That will be okay. As you're reporting, be keen. You may want to report the actual officers affected rather than saying a police officer was involved. You can say the officer in charge of Kawempe division, or maybe of any police station of the central Kampala Metropolitan Police. You may want to be particular on who did what. That is how workplaces come up with promotions after knowing the person that helped to arrest those that were embezzling funds or the corrupt. In such reports, someone should be able to know who to promote, who to caution, because you've given the actual names of the affected people. Yes, that is what report writing is all about. And if there are people they worked with, it's very important for you to indicate their names. Most especially if it's an investigative report. You cannot show that you're so incompetent that you've made an investigation, but still you didn't even manage to get the names of the people involved. So what's the point of reporting? You must be able to find those names. If not, at least indicate that you made an effort to find them, much as you failed. You can even indicate the people you worked with to show that an effort was made. Yes. And for your recommendations, you don't have to give only one recommendation. You can give 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you choose the number that you give. So recommendations are not limited to just one idea. You can always give more. What else? As you're signing out people, the word is compiled, not complied. Yes, I have to remind you of that. I don't want you to be presenting a report later in life and then people feel like maybe your teacher didn't emphasize that well enough. The word is compiled, not complied. To comply is to agree to or to abide by the laws or rules of a given things, and yet to compile is to gather information, to collect information. So that's the word we want in report writing. Compile, compiled by. Yes. Thank you very much. So at this point, I'm going to invite anyone volunteer to summarize this lesson for us. What have we studied about? Any person willing, you raise your hand and tell us that the lesson started with this and this, we moved to this and this. It's good. It's good practice for us to know where we have moved from to where we have ended the lesson, to actually summarize. You know, sometimes in an online class, some people get off because of data, maybe network, then they come back, then they find that a slide has passed. So if you've been in the lesson throughout and you want to do the lesson review, it's a good time for you to raise your hand and you share with us. Yes, thank you, Drusilla. And at this point in time, I welcome you to do the summary, the lesson recap or lesson summary. Thank you so much.
Okay, for today, started with a recap for the last lesson, and after that, we went directly to the main point of the lesson, which was report writing. We defined the meaning of report writing. We got to know when and or where we can write a report, the different types of reports, the way of writing a report, and we also gave us tips on how to write the report.
Thank you so much, Drusilla. And indeed, that is exactly what we did. We have gone through report writing, and I believe that someone somewhere has learned a thing or two about report writing. And when a time comes in future and they have to write a report, it will be very, very easy for them. So I thank you very much for taking part in this lesson. I thank you for doing your assignments. I thank you for giving us good audience. For sometimes I had to mute some people, and sometimes I had to ask people to unmute, but they didn't unmute. So I thank all of you that have cooperated with us. I thank you that have attended our lessons without fail. I thank your parents and your sponsors for helping you. Sorry, let me come on. For helping you to take part in these lessons. May you thank them. Find time and write them a card, whoever is sponsoring you, if it is your sister, if it is your parents, if it is your school, if it is, your parent that is giving you airtime to buy data or connecting you to their MiFi. Don't feel entitled to it. Take time and thank them. Pray for them that they will keep available and in position to help you to attain more knowledge. Yes, I know you're going to cover this again at school, but it doesn't hurt for you to learn something extra. It doesn't hurt for you to be knowing beforehand. And some people have already covered, but it doesn't hurt for you to remember. So as we go back to school, I am going to ask someone to give us a closing prayer. As for Haitham, I'm about to remove you from this meeting, but it's about to end. So let me give you a benefit of doubt. So Debbie is willing to give us a closing prayer. Don't forget to pray for all parties involved. Thank you so much.
Let's humble ourselves for the closing prayer. Oh Lord, we thank you for this nice lesson. We thank you for the teacher you have given us. We thank you for every good thing. Thank you for the lesson. Oh Lord, we pray that everything taught to us, get it in our mind, not forget it. Thank you, Lord, for enabling us to participate. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I pray.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you. May
Amen.
God bless you all. May God keep you safe until next holiday for English. Yes, we are going to meet again in the holiday of term 2. I thank you so much. The week is still going. You have other subjects. Please stay connected as you cover your other subjects. I'll be also teaching other classes. May God bless you as you go back to school. May God bless your sponsors and everything. I love you so, so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye.